Hello. Today I wanted to take a couple minutes to share a technique that I've developed to work remotely on people's physical bodies. And the reason I'm sharing this technique freely with everyone is because I know that there are many people right now who are body workers. There are massage therapists, there are acupuncturists, physical therapists, chiropractors, and some of you are having difficulty during the quarantine connecting with and seeing your clients and your patients. And so I wanted to share this for anyone who's interested as a way that you, if your clients are open, can connect and practice your magical bodywork gifts on your clients remotely. This is also a really good practice to, if you don't have it already, and I'm sure if you're listening to this, you already do, but to really hone your intuition when working on your clients, even in person. So the techniques that I'm going to teach you today briefly will also help you when we get back into interacting with each other in person to really tune in and use your intuition more in your work. So here goes. Usually the first thing that I do when I'm working on people remotely is say a little prayer to set the energy and to set the intention. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And you can use whatever prayer that you want to use, but this is what works for me. The first thing that I do is I imagine surrounding my workspace, myself and my client, in a beautiful bubble of white and gold light. And I invite in all the angels and guides and that beautiful bright connection with my highest self. And I also invite all of the highest self of my client and ask to connect my client to their very own highest wisdom and highest healing power. I also ask to be a clear channel from which all that guidance and healing energy will work through me. And very most importantly, I ask that the outcome of the work that we do together serves the highest good. So those are the three things that I do. And then the easiest way to do this is with a surrogate. So I use a stuffed monkey. I like the stuffed monkey for a couple of reasons. One, my monkey is similar anatomically to a human being. And secondly, this is the kind that you can wash, because I actually find, as crazy as it seems, and I discovered this sort of by accident, but if you use the same surrogate over and over again with different people, the energy gets kind of heavy. So I like something washable. You can also set the intention to just clear it in between people and, or imagine sort of, blowing into it a few times and blowing the energy out. You can do a lot of things, but for me, I prefer to have something washable. It does not have to be a monkey. You can also, or a stuffed animal at all. So if you don't have access right now to a washable stuffed animal, don't worry. You can use a pillow. You can even use the air. And sometimes I just imagine working on the air, and that works really well too. The downside of that is my arms get tired, but it definitely works. And sometimes I actually prefer working that way. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to get really calm and center and still, which I always do when I'm doing my intuitive work. You're going to ask to get out of your own way, to get out of the way, and allow the energy and the guidance to work through you to connect with the healing that your client most needs right now. And then you can begin to let your hands go to work. Now, many of you body workers are already doing this, right? When you work on someone, you're working kind of intuitively where your hands feel drawn to certain places. So if that is your approach already, then you can just do the same thing on the surrogate. All you have to do is trust that it's going to work. And though a lot of body workers are used to feeling the body of the person that you're working with and having that dialogue. So here you have to start to feel the energy, and you have to really imagine, what if this monkey is a surrogate for your client? So right now my client has a very tight shoulder, and my hand is working very much on their tight shoulder. I might be my own surrogate, right? My own client right now, right? And my hand is moving into their shoulder. And as I do this, I feel something's releasing in their neck, but my hand also feels drawn to their buttocks. So I put another finger there, right? And so I'm using those techniques. Some of you are very visual, so when you work, you picture the body, and that's fine too. And again, it's also fine not to use a surrogate at all, but you can imagine. I tend to be very kinesthetic and I feel what I'm doing with my hands, but you may just imagine working on the anatomy of your client's body, and that is fine too. Or you might imagine working on the anatomy of your client's body while at the same time moving your hands in the air or on a pillow or on, if you have a massage table at home, you could put, you could imagine the client is on the massage table and working on that. So there's many different ways to do it, but the basic idea is to allow your hands and your intuition to guide you, to set the energy and the container for the energy with which you work, to believe that this is a possibility, because if you don't believe it's a possibility, it will make it much harder to work, to have the highest and purest attention, because of course, this is a surrogate, not a voodoo doll, and we want to do all things with love. And very most importantly, to get out of your own way and know that during this time and all times, we as healers and helpers and body workers are really just divine conduits for that greater healing force that exists within all of us, and that your job is really to help to activate that healing force within your clients. And because, my friends, it's not necessarily linked to the physical body and we are all energy beings, know that you can do this remotely too in these periods of time. So post your comments if you have any or questions, and I hope this was helpful. Namaste.